Today on MotivLearn, we're going to tell you an inspiring story. While the town and people are fictional, we've based their experiences on real community initiatives around the world. Through this story, we'll explore how any group of people can come together to solve big problems. Welcome to Green Valley, population 15,000. Like many real towns across America, this fictional community faced a crisis that felt all too real. They were running out of space for their trash. We're creating this story to show what's possible, explains our host, Tom Rivera. Every character represents the kind of everyday hero you might find in your own hometown. Our story revolves around a diverse group of fictional problem solvers. There's Mayor Linda Chen, a former high school principal, and Katie Schmidt, a sophomore who loves science. Bob Thompson has owned the local hardware store for 20 years, while Mrs. Johnson is a retired engineer turned community activist. Rounding out the group is Fire Chief Mark Rivera, known throughout town for his creative thinking. The town's problem started small. First, the landfill costs went up 15%. Then the recycling center 3 towns over closed. We based this on real issues many communities face, Tom tells us. Sometimes big problems sneak up on you. At a town meeting, filmed in a real community center in Austin, Texas, our fictional Katie makes her suggestion. As the story goes, she'd been inspired by watching a documentary about real-world zero-waste communities in Japan. The solutions developed by the Trash Transformers team drew inspiration from actual programs around the world. Their school composting initiative mirrors a real program in Seattle schools. The community swap meets are similar to successful examples from Portland. Their work with local stores to reduce packaging reflects laws in France and South Korea. And their Fix-It Fridays are based on repair cafes that started in Amsterdam. We even brought in real experts to comment on our fictional town's approach. Dr. Sarah Martinez, an environmental scientist, explains, while Green Valley is fictional, their methods are based on proven strategies. Small communities really can reduce waste by 50 to 70% using these techniques. Our story includes the kinds of challenges real towns might face. Some residents initially resisted the changes. The town grappled with budget constraints. Everyone had to work on changing long-standing habits. We wrote Mrs. Johnson as a retired engineer to show how communities can use the skills they already have, Tom reveals. In our story, she fixes toasters and teaches others. In reality, many towns have similar hidden talents waiting to be discovered. We visit a real community center where actual fix-it events happen. We do exactly what Mrs. Johnson does in the story, says real-life volunteer Joe Chang. Last month, we kept over 100 items out of landfills. The fictional kids in our story started a trash-to-art program. We showcase real artworks by actual students who've done similar projects, proving that inspiration can flow both ways between fiction and reality. To show how the story could work in real life, we talked to actual community leaders. A real mayor discusses the challenges of waste management. A genuine high school student shares her environmental club successes. An actual small business owner talks about reducing packaging. Near the end of our story, Green Valley's success spreads to other towns. This part is crucial, Tom explains. Real change often starts small, but grows naturally when people see it working. We close with real statistics about community waste reduction, showing that while Green Valley is fictional, its goals are achievable. Real towns have reduced waste by up to 80%. Community composting can divert nearly a third of waste from landfills. Repair programs can extend product life by 2 to 10 years. Our fictional Mayor Chen's final quote is inspired by real community leaders. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. As we wrap up our visit to the fictional Green Valley, remember, while the town isn't real, the potential for change is. Every community has its own Katie Schmidt, Linda Chen, or Mrs. Johnson. Maybe that person is you. We created Green Valley to show what's possible, Tom concludes. The only question is, what story will your community tell? That's all for today's video. See you next time, right here on MotivLearn.